It was in 1928 that Sir Charles Kingsford Smith took off from this field to start his epoch-making flight for Honolulu, Suva, and Brisbane, Australia. And here he is, roaring over the Oakland Airport to complete the last leg of his return visit, the 2,408-mile overwater, and in this case, overnight hop from Honolulu. His arrival here is 2 hours ahead of schedule, so that only the early birds were on hand to welcome him and his navigator, Captain Taylor. With the sure, deft landing so characteristic of this intrepid airman, the ship is brought to earth, and a wave of the mittened hand is Kingsford Smith's welcome to America. With the glow of a good job well done, the two flyers clamber from their cockpits. Both the flyers look fresh and at ease, as though they've been merely taking a joy hop across San Francisco Bay, instead of being the first men in all history ever to fly the Pacific Ocean from Australia to America. And to prove their freshness and freedom from strain, the first thought of Sir Charles and Captain Taylor is their ship, and the crowd in the hangar is treated to the sight of the two men hopping about the plane like two ordinary mechanics. With the completion of this return flight, Sir Charles Kingsford Smith became the only man ever to fly the Pacific between Australia and the United States twice, and secures even more solidly the esteem in which he is held by aviators and the world at large. Happy landings always, Sir Charles.
Of the Atlantic won over the treacherous Pacific. Roaring into the Oakland Airport, she brings to a triumphant finish her 2,400-mile hop from Hawaii after 18 hours in the air. 10,000 cheer the end of the epical flight as the Lady Lindy slides into a perfect landing with two records. The first woman to fly the Pacific and the first person to fly it solo. She receives one of the most tumultuous greetings ever accorded a flyer. Roses to Amelia and the plaudits of the world to a veteran of flights that have shown the way for aviation's progress. It's her most brilliant chapter in a 16-year aviation career. How does it feel to fly both oceans, Miss Earhart?
Well, it was very interesting to me to fly in southern waters rather than in the north. On the Atlantic flight, I had ice conditions and general storm. On this flight, really no bad weather at all except a few little rain squalls. I saw the moon and stars most of the night. Of course, in both flights, I was very glad to see land.
Tomatoes and other ancient fruit, grandfather eggs and such. The ammunition for the annual brawl between the Frosh and sophomores at University of San Francisco. It's a scene of bloodshed and slaughter, a frightful toll of carnage and destruction. Brave young men advancing to an unknown fate that might be worse than death itself. It finally finishes in a draw, but it'll never be forgotten, the Battle of Garbage Hill. A real robot plane, a huge Douglas transport airliner at that, is being tested by Army officials, presumably for a radio robot-controlled flight to Honolulu. A small ring direction finder set atop the cabin enables the plane to head directly for any broadcasting station. The test flyers say it makes blind flying safe and certain. And now they'll get away with darkened windows on a test flight to fly the music, as they call it, to ride the broadcast waves from ship to ship at sea and back to shore again in a final tryout before the epical blind flight to Hawaii. The new development is of far-reaching importance to aviation. It means true flying in darkness and in fog over land and ocean. Another big step towards transatlantic and Pacific airline service. The golden